3D Pebbles Daddy's Girl Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi everybody, this is Terrell again, and we have the baby here who is the star of the show. And today we are going to be introducing a nail design from the Flintstones, a show that I used to watch when I was really little and loved every minute of it. And we have, if you could guess, a Pebbles design, because this one is Daddy's Girl. Yeah, it makes Daddy so happy. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this video. She did an awesome job with the nail design. So stay in tune so you can see all of her other designs as well.
So I'm going to start with a layer of lavender acrylic behind, for the background of the nail. Sorry, watching Melody giggling has me all flustered over here that I forget what I'm saying. Anyways, so just apply a layer of lavender acrylic in the background. I use lavender because Pebbles has like a nice reddish color hair and a green dress, and so the other color that's sort of not in that color wheel, if you look at a color wheel, the color that's away from those two is going to be a purple. So that is the color that I went with to make those other colors really stand out. Then apply a layer of clear acrylic over that whole thing to make sure it is nice and strong. Then I'm going to take my e-file and file this thing into shape, starting with a coarse bit to remove any bulk, and then switching to a finer bit to make sure it is nice and easy to paint on and smooth and all of that fun stuff. So now with white acrylic, I'm going to be sculpting first just a background layer or a base layer behind where Pebbles' skin will be. So the cover pink that I will be using to add her flesh tone, sorry, I just got caught up in my own throat there. The color that I'm going to be using for her flesh tone is very sheer, and so if you don't apply a base layer of white underneath it, it ends up just looking kind of either bruised or just like it's not there. So I like to add just like I said, a base layer so that makes that show up a little bit better. And then after that, I have her neck, and then I'm going to be adding just the very top of her little dress. You don't really see much of that, like I said, just the very, very top, just that little bit. Then I'm going to go through, like I said, with my cover pink and apply that over the top of my white. The great thing with my cover pink is, so a lot of the color acrylics that I use are a 3D art acrylic, which has a very different consistency than a sculpture acrylic, which if you guys have the chance to play around with both of those, you will understand what I'm saying there. And for something like this, using that sculpture acrylic is so much easier that it just, I don't know, I kind of enjoy using them on occasion, which is the same thing with the lavender color that I used in the background. They're both the same kind of acrylics, and I was like, oh, this is so much easier than some of the things I do. But anyways, I also added her little shoulder that you can see, so a layer of white first, and then the layer of cover pink. And when I did her face, I did press my brush in to create her little eye socket so that you can easier paint her eyes later because you've already sort of got those in place. Then taking a warm gold color acrylic, I'm going to be adding her hair, and I call it warm gold just because that's the actual title of the color of acrylic, but to me it's more of like a, I don't know, like a soft orangey color, a shimmery, I don't know, copper, I suppose would be a good name for it. But it's called Warm Gold. It's from Young Nails. I know people have asked me what this one is in the past, and that's what that color is, and it is the perfect shade for Pebbles' hair. So I first added all of her hair, like her bangs coming down over her face. Then I'm going to add her hair that goes down by the side of her head by where her ear will be, and just add that going down and along there. And then after you have that done, you get to add her little ponytail up at the top of her head, which is definitely the part of Pebbles that always makes me smile. So then I'm going to add just her ear, like I said, is over there on the side. So first, same thing, a layer of white behind the layer of cover pink. So I did the layer of white first, and I'll come back to it with the cover pink. And here's her ponytail. With this, I would recommend using a little bit wetter acrylic than you may normally, because it'll pull into that very soft looking ponytail spiky shape that she has. And then add the little, with white acrylic, add her bone that is tying her hair together. So there's the one side, then the other side comes out the other. I've passed her hair on the other side, just you don't see it as much. Add a little connector between them like so. And then after you have that done, eventually you'll go through and you'll add a little bit of hair that's wrapped around the bone. So add that on top of that, which I'll do right now. You'll see just a little bit more of that warm gold color on top of it like so. And then the cover pink over her ear. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then you can go through with your paint. So the rest of the details I did with acrylic paint, and I'm starting with white for her eyes. And like I said, you already have those eye sockets in place, and doing that with the belly of your brush, just sort of pressing those in, really sets you up for success when you go to start painting her facial features. It's just like a nice little, here's where stuff goes, there you go, you kind of get pushed in the right direction. And then I'm going to take black paint and do all of our outlining. And I am doing definite outlines with black paint. I know some of my cartoons I do partial outlines. All of that depends on basically the era that the cartoon was created. more and more as time goes on, cartoons are not using outlines. They are using very advanced technology that gives light and shadows and textures and all of this amazing stuff, which is, if you guys, I went to a Pixar exhibit at a science museum that was just so beyond fascinating. It was incredible. And if you guys have a chance to learn some about the way they do animation now, I would definitely recommend it, because it's incredible the amount of work that goes into it. But anyways, not that we needed to really have a little animation talk there, but the older a cartoon is, the more outlines they have. And so I like to kind of keep that in place. And since the Flintstones are an older cartoon, they do definitely have plenty of outlines. And I like that. It's kind of nostalgic to me. And I really like that style, actually more than the style of newer animation, but to each their own. The new stuff is definitely incredible in its own right. And so then I'm going to add her little eyelashes, outlines around her eyes, add a little upside down V shape for her nose, just like that. And of course she's going to need a smile at her eyebrows, like that. Her eyebrows are just very simple little lines, smiles, very basic smile. And on her shirt, depending on how much of a shirt that you guys see, depending on where she is placed on the nail, you may have more of this. She has like a little leopard print going on, but I don't have very much of her shirt showing, so you don't see it very much. Add her eyes first with blue and then with black. My blue is a pretty dark blue, so you don't really see too much of that. And a little highlight with white in her eyes over the color. And then above Pebbles, you're going to write Daddy's Girl. And I know that I mentioned this in a couple different videos here and there, but I like to make one longer nail that has all the design elements together, with kind of the idea that you guys can separate that out and do what you want on your own set if they aren't as long. So like you could write Daddy's Girl on a nail, have Pebbles on a nail. You could do a nail that's just that green color with leopard print, and that would all tie together and be an amazing set. And as I'm describing this, I want it on my nails right now, so I may have to do this on myself, because I love the Flintstones. Like, I am obsessed. I've got box sets. I have some Barbie dolls that are they were a Flintstones like limited edition release that I have. The only dolls I've ever collected. My mom collects dolls, and those are the ones that I have kept of my doll collections. The rest of them, like, I don't know. But I love my Flintstones ones. Those ones aren't going anywhere. I am absolutely Flintstones obsessed. And if you guys are like me and love the Flintstones, I did a full set of 5 Flintstone nails on myself a couple years ago, and I love the way they turned out, and I will put a link to that video in the description box below, because they were amazing. And then after I have all of the painting done, I'm going to apply gel sealer over the background, cure, and matte top coat over Pebbles. And that is it. I am so in love with this nail. I hope you guys are in love with it as much as I am. And please share any recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see them, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!